everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. It's Wednesday, so we have John with
Hi.
Sally. Say hi, John.
Hello.
So today we are going to cover the modalities
Yep.
of astrology. And John and I were just talking before we came on, and we are going to make this. Excuse the. Okay, you agree. Wonderful. The dog agrees. Yeah. Just be quiet for a minute. We have agreed that we are going to make Wednesdays at 7 p.m. The time that we are going to come on and talk about astrology. So the modalities is sort of going to be the last of the background work, and then next week we're going to we listen to me like I know what I'm doing here. John, John is going to start, and we're going to learn all about Aries,
Yep.
and then the following Wednesday we're going to learn all about Taurus, and so on and so on. So, what I'm going to do starting for next week's show is, yeah, I know, is I'm in the description. If you click on it in the drop down menu, I'll have the date and the sign that we will be delving into. So, next week, it's Aries, all Aries, everything you ever wanted to know about Aries, and so on. So, check and see. She's so talkative all of a sudden. So check and see when your sign is, but don't forget your sun sign is kind of the main one, but your personality is comprised of all the signs, different elements of all the signs. So that's why you want to tune in to all the others. Okay, so without without further ado, I'm going to turn things over to John. I'm going to let the dog out. And John, you're on. Go.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, today it's all about the modalities. The podcast before was all about the elements. That was one way of dividing the zodiac. Um, so, the modalities are another way of dividing the zodiac into three modes of action. So here we got the symbols. You don't have to remember this, but um, the first symbol is cardinal, fixed is the second, and the last one is mutable. So those are representative of all the signs within the zodiac wheel. If we look here, I've I've colored all the cardinal signs with the orange hue, the fixed sign with the green hue, and the mutable sign in the blue hue. So you can associate, if you know your symbol for um, each zodiac signs, you can associate your your sun sign with your modality. So, for example, this is Aries, this is Cardinal, this is Taurus, fixed, Gemini, mutable, and so on. So, there's always, as with the elements, there's always this succession. There's always this triadic here succession. It's 3 by 4. So it's 4 times 3 here. Whereas the elements was 4 elements 3 times. So the first one is cardinal. So, what is interesting to know about the modalities first is that each modality represents a period of the year within each of the 4 seasons of the North Hemisphere. So, in a nutshell, elements are what we are attuned to. So, instinct, body, mind, emotions, and modalities, what we're talking about today, are the mode of action, cardinal, fixed, or mutable. So,
Okay.
cardinal is the first modality that we encounter starting with Aries. Cardinal signs coincides with the beginning of each season. So, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. So, the four cardinal signs, if I can go back here, are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Since it's the first sign to enter seasons, cardinal signs will bear a strong need to create and be the first to establish contact with their respective element. So, for example, Aries initiates its identity because it's fire related. Cancer initiates emotional rapport. Water. Libra initiates relationships. Air. And Capricorn initiates material success. Earth. So, in to brush a broad stroke for the cardinal signs, they are the trailblazers of their own element and can therefore easily start a project, but as the opposite, have a difficulty when it comes to sustaining it or finishing it. They're really good at having this impulse of starting something.
Mm, yeah.
So, for example, having a majority of cardinal signs in your chart means that you are really creative and you like to initiate change in yourself or your environment. Very often, you will see people having lots of cardinal signs in leader, so in leader positions, and people who likes to have this kind of really brush, really broad and expansive mind about starting something in their lives. But on the flip side, as I said earlier, it can be hard to have the staying power to achieve what you have settled your mind on. Also, it can be hard for cardinal signs to be tolerant of others' points of view. So they can be a little bit impatient when things don't go their way or when things are too complex. This is a really cardinals are really the this is a movement. This is the movement initiating mode. So they
Hmm.
don't like to be settled down. They don't like to be coerced. They don't like to be. They want to do their own thing. Um, as for the intolerance of other people' points of view, this is less pronounced with Libra. So people with a lot of Libra in their chart will be more akin to listen to others and being more aware of the importance of maintaining relationships because that's part of their whole character. So I got an exemplar, celebrity exemplar here with Harrison Ford. So his chart is really cardinal centered. So if I zoom in a little bit, you can see either on the wheel or in the little table over there, simplifying it, the C is cardinal, the F is fixed, and the M is mutable. So you can see in the cardinal column that he's got a whole lot of cardinal. In fact, his sun, his moon, Jupiter, Mercury, the midheaven, all in one sign, Cancer. So it's quite a feat.
Yeah.
And as well as the ascendant in Libra. So he's got a lot of powerful motivational energy, and he is really lacking in the fixed side. So he may have a little bit of a tendency to be um, to have this really strong burst of energy and then doesn't have the staying power to truly like continue it
Yeah.
on himself. But
Yeah.
still, there are nuances that I don't want to delve into today, but still.
Yeah.
Okay. So the second one is the fixed mode. The fixed modality is all about being in the middle of a season. So the fixed sign, I don't want to go further back here, but I'll try to do it. Okay. So the fixed sign are in green. So this is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. As you can see, they're all in the middle, starting with Aries. This is the middle of spring, middle of summer, middle
Hmm.
of autumn, middle of winter.
Yeah.
So this is where the season expresses itself most intensely, and therefore fixed sign are the most stable and intense depiction of their element. So, for example, Taurus intensify the concrete world, Earth. Leo intensifies its identity. So it inflates the ego, fire. Scorpio intensify its emotional world, water, and Aquarius intensifies its mental abstractions, air. So fixed sign are associated with putting weight and emphasis on already existing structures, developing it and complexifying it. So they're really good at creating stability. That's why that's my first keyword here.
Yeah.
um, they're really good at developing and sustaining um, projects in general.
Yeah.
However, they're not great at adapting like cardinal signs to external circumstances, but they also have the other problem of not being great at initiating projects.
Okay.
So people with dominant fixed quality are great at developing an already existing idea or project, and they are frequently very attuned to the an analytical and steadfast version of things. This is like
Right.
cardinal initiate the change, and fixed refines it, complexifies and intensify the project. So
Yeah.
they are more thorough than the other two modes, but have a harder time adapting to sudden changes and can take too much time taking a decision because they
Hmm.
really dislike change.
Yeah.
They really, really dislike it because it's kind of a for some people it can be a matter of life and death because it's the whole
Yeah.
world is changing and they don't have control over it. So they can be
Yeah.
very stubborn, and it can be hard to change personal views or mindsets because of this. So I got an example here with George Lucas.
No. Okay.
Yep. So here again, you can see someone who's very, very one sign. Taurus is very intensified here. The ascendant, the sun, Venus, Mercury, all in Taurus. And again, it's not over yet. We got another fixed sign, Aquarius with the moon,
Hmm.
futuristic
Okay.
tendencies,
Yeah.
genius tendencies here. Um, Also, we also got Leo again. So there's so much fixed
Yeah.
um, modality involved here. And the other two, if you go to the lower right here, cardinal and like it's here, it's D for double, but still mutable is really, really weak. It's really lacking. So it's all in the fixed mode. So he's going to have a real trouble switching gears or truly initiating something completely new.
Yeah. All righty. Hey,
Yeah. And there.
before you go further, I
Yep.
just very quickly wanted to jump in here
Yep.
and say hi to some of the folks that are here. So hi Teresa, hi Witchy Gardens, and hi to anyone else who's kind of they haven't said anything, but I they're there. They're just
Okay.
not. They're being very quiet, so that's
Okay.
okay. If you're here, hi. Thanks for being here. Don't forget
Thank
to like
you.
and subscribe. Okay. All right. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. So the last modality here is mutable. So here we have arrived at the end of a cycle. If we go back a couple of slides, the blue signs are considered mutable signs. So we got Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So those four signs are considered at the end of a season. That's really important to consider here. Because they're kind of since they are at the end of a cycle, mutable signs are naturally keen on observing changes in their environment to better prepare for the next cycle coming. So Gemini is observing and adapting for summer. Virgo is observing, changing, adjusting for falls, etc.
Yeah.
So these signs are really like, if I go further, I wrote Gemini is mentally adaptable because it's air. Virgo is practically adaptable, earth. Sagittarius identity is adaptable, fire. And Pisces is emotionally adaptable, water.
Oh,
So these
nice.
signs can
Okay.
easily shift position on a topic if needed, but they have a
Mm-hmm.
hard time being truly steadfast in their decision making, appearing wavering and unreliable at times. They're really truly the shapeshifters of the zodiac. So it can be hard for them to truly pin down on one decision. Um, it can make them uncomfortable. So people with high mutable energy in their chart have an easier time adapting to outer circumstances and also have a faster time dealing with information in general, processing and sharing. However, their biggest drawback is their tendency to be scatterbrained and lacking focus in their goals. That's why I got scattered as a
Yeah.
keyword, that
Yeah.
because it's so difficult for mutable signs, and I'm really talking about having a lot of it in your chart.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to truly be consistent with what is needed in your environment, because you're always thinking of what else, what can be done, and
Yeah.
what your mind is always shifting, or your heart, or your you can, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
So
do. I do. Yeah. It's this. This is fantastic. What else is there?
yeah,
Yeah.
resulting is in lacking things. Um, it's like lacking in for an urge for completion and accomplishment can be hard
Yeah.
at first. So my exemplar for this is Kesha here. So we've got a whole slew of mutable energy over there, again with
Yeah.
a really strong sign emphasized here, Pisces. You got Sagittarius over there, and pretty much peanuts left for
Yeah.
Capricorn, sorry, um, cardinal and fixed modalities. So really good at adapting, but initiating and sustaining projects can be hard.
Yeah.
So, in a very small nutshell, modalities can be illustrated by how people solve problems. Faced with a giant boulder on their road to life, cardinal people will tend to begin to climb the rock. Fixed people will try to drill their way into it. And people with mutable dominant tendencies will circle around the rock.
Yeah.
And most people tend to have two dominant modes in their birth chart. In fact, according to my little research on Astro Databank, about 18% of celebrities have a single dominant mode in their chart, while a whopping 62% have two qualities emphasized.
Okay. That that makes sense.
So that's why I can go with, like I did with the element, associating people with two dominant modes. So first is
Right.
cardinal and fixed. People with both dominant cardinal and fixed signs in their chart are usually a force to be reckoned with, since both modalities are strong willed and don't allow outside perspective to skew their view set. Really, really strong character. Because you got the initiating part with Cardinal
Yeah.
and carrying things on fixed for quite a while. So making them really task and goal oriented. So this pairing can produce strong leadership qualities as in an individual, but also a very obstinate mind to the point of being obsessed with controlling everything around them. Because they're
Elon
really
Musk.
lacking. Um, I don't remember his chart by heart, but
Mm.
could be. I got another one
Oh,
if I
good.
remember. Oh, I got two.
Oh, nice.
That's a little bit easier to find people with two dominant than only one.
Yeah.
Um, what else? What else? Yeah, so they might be a deep seated fear of losing control by allowing change into their lives or being swallowed by
Mhm.
external pressure. Because they want to initiate the pressure, they want to pressurize their environment, because that's cardinal here
Yeah.
and fixed, so they won't divert their target. It's just set in stone for them. So these
Yeah.
people can be extremely efficient at what they do, steamrolling through life, producing a remarkable amount of work. This is especially true for birth chart with dominant fire and earth elements. So people who also got fire, earth, and cardinal and fixed in their charts are like double whammy here.
Okay.
So my two exemplars here for dominant, cardinal, and fixed modalities are Salvador Dali.
Okay.
So here you can see a lot of cardinal fire and
Yeah.
fixed Taurus. So again, these two,
Yeah.
Aries and Taurus, are emphasized in his chart. So very strong creative energy, but very hard time adapting to others' viewpoint. Very set in their ways. No, my way.
Yeah.
Um, the other one is Lisa Kudrow from Friends, the TV
Oh, right,
series.
right, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So this one again, we can see that there's a lot of cardinal and fixed, even more than Salvador, but the signs are different and it's going to play a role. But the overarching idea is the same. So again,
Hmm.
strong creative energy, but strong difficulty adapting to others' viewpoint. And again, with not a lot of air in her chart, can be hard.
Yeah.
The other combination is cardinal and mutable, totally different. So this pairing can be very volatile and all over the place, since both the cardinal and the mutable energy wants to produce change, but has very little to do with consistency and stability. Here is the fixed mode that is lacking. So, in
Yeah.
fact, this pairing can exacerbate the negative side of the unfocused behavior both modalities share, effectively creating someone that cannot stay still, both in body and mind. People with this configuration, they really should be careful not to be overly enthusiastic and
Yep.
trying to find ways to carry on their ideas into reality. This advice is especially good for charts with high amounts of fire and air. Again, if you got fire, air emphasizing your chart and cardinal and mutable, this is like really, really easy for you to delve into like an explosion of possibilities
Yeah.
and completely almost nothing. It's like, oh, I got this great
Yeah.
idea, but it's like, where's the practicality in all of this? Where
Yeah.
can you do it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's for someone else to figure out, right? It's
Yeah.
like I've got a brilliant idea. It makes sense in my head. It's too big for me to try to explain it to you, but it's going to work. I don't know
Yep.
when or how. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I could see that. That would be like the big dreamer, the big
Yeah.
ideas guy that
Yeah. It really
yeah, they come
emphasized
up
because
with the ideas and someone else makes them happen.
yeah, definitely. It's a little bit like single cardinal, but with mutable
Mm,
also involved. There's a lot of adaptability that
mhm.
cardinal only lacks. So here, on a more positive side, people like this can be truly versatile as they can take a leadership role as well as being the underling should the
Yeah.
circumstances allow it. And they can also know how to get around problems in a creative way to get what they need. This is a really
Yeah.
adaptable combination because you got the mutable energy. So cardinal is said, let's do this. And mutable is like, okay, I can circle around you and transmitting
Yeah.
information, receiving it, and adapting to my environment. So the only thing lacking here again is the staying power.
Yeah.
So even with sufficient amounts of earth element, this pairing needs to be in movement and on the go, producing producing things and paying attention to what is possible to create. So examples of celebrity with dominant cardinal and mutable signs. I've got Warren Buffett.
Oh, absolutely.
So extremely, this is more of a cardinal dominant here, but still, there's a lot of mutable energy. So
Yeah.
again, really, really intensifying. Here we got a really spread chart over there. So you got a whole lot of Cancer, Virgo, Libra. It's really all over the place. But
Yeah.
uh, as your this combination would suggest, um, there is truly absolutely lacking in fixed energy. So he must have had someone else or something else to truly sustain all of this creative and adaptable energy because
Yeah.
like it doesn't grow on trees. You have to truly muster something else in order to succeed like that.
Yeah.
And my other example is Sean Connery.
Okay.
So here we got another quite squarish chart. Again, you can see.
Yeah.
And pretty much the same scenario here is a little bit more dominant mutable this time, but still you can see a whole lot of Virgo
Yeah.
is happening here with Cancer and a little blotch of other signs around, but
Yeah.
still the dominant energy here is cardinal and mutable, making very, very creative and adaptable. And the last combination is fixed and mutable. This is a very interesting combination because you've got the most stubborn mode joining forces with the most adaptable mode. So this is a really, I would say, it can depend on which one is dominant,
Yep.
but still, you will see the four main points that I've laid out here
Yep.
in pretty much everyone that is both fixed and mutable emphasized. So, people with both dominant fixed and mutable signs are very enduring folks who can withstand enormous amounts of pressure before committing to change. Why? Because we already got fixed as a mode here. Fixed is naturally enduring, patient, but mutable is adaptable. So it kind of what happened here is the mutable signs help the fixed signs adapt to the environment, making them even more stubborn than dominant fixed modality when it comes to make a life-changing decision. So this
Mm,
combination will be good at making small changes in their
yeah.
lives. But when it comes, because they got the mutable aspect, oh, okay, I'll do that. But it's more of a, let's just say, superficial change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, and especially exacerbated with strong amounts of earth and or water signs. If both of them are involved with fixed and mutable, again, this is really hard. The change will be very, very traumatic for them. So their
Right.
biggest struggle is initiating change and starting new projects. Cardinal is lacking here. And they can be quite slow to commit to anything serious because cardinal energy is all about initiating. Initiating change is easy. Starting
Yeah.
projects, nothing is truly I would say dramatic when starting
Mm,
projects when cardinal is involved. But when it comes to having fixed and mutable signs combined here and lacking
yeah.
cardinal, it can be because fixed is more analytic and
Yeah.
mutable know how to understand how to change and make way into something else coming true. So it's like, no, I need to be really careful that I don't go into something that will screw me over. It's
Yeah.
really important. So they're really, really slow to commit. So, in general, this pairing can be very patient or careful in general. They don't like to rush into things and want to make sure every detail is taken into consideration. Yep.
Okay.
Because of this, they can do great in slow paced environments or where thorough analysis is needed. This person
Okay.
will be also extremely efficient. Like, for example, on the top of my head, taking an already existing business, for example,
Mm-hmm.
buying something already existing instead of creating things altogether.
Yeah.
They can be extremely good. Um, Examples. Yeah, I'm already on examples here.
Whew.
So,
All right.
celebrities. We got Jay Leno.
Okay.
So over there, yeah, we got a tiny bit of cardinal here. Fixed and mutable are emphasized. So you can see here that we've got a lot of Virgo, lots of Taurus, and a little bit
Yeah.
of Pisces again. So you can really see that cardinal is lacking over there. And again, like I said before, this one may be a good example of a double whammy because here we got a lot of Earth. Lots of Earth. So, like I said on this example, having lots of Earth or water signs with fixed and mutable
Mhm.
can lead to really, really strong dislike of change in general and initiating
Yeah.
change in particular.
Yeah.
My other example is Bob Dylan.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this one is really
That's
crazy.
well, that's a chart.
Yeah, yeah, this one is something. So
Yeah.
you got obviously all this bunched up energy over there between Taurus and Gemini all clumped
Yeah.
together. It's it's really something. So again, um, the fact that air is a little bit here can be helping, but fire is truly lacking over there. So again, another difficult time maybe with change and initiating, starting things
Yeah.
can be really difficult. So um, yeah, that's pretty much it for the combinations. So as for the calculation, I've got the same usual chart over there as I did for my dominant element. So
Right.
again, the sun and moon are worth 3 points each. Mercury, Venus, Mars, and the ascendant are worth 2 points. And Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and the midheaven 1 point each, for a total of 20 points. So
Okay.
that doesn't change. But what changes is the tally. So depending on the amount that you get over
Right.
here, so let's say you have like 8 points in fixed, well, you are kind of balanced in your fixed energy. This is a little bit different than the elemental because the elements we are dealing with 4 elements, and with
Right.
the cardinal we are dealing with 3 modes.
Three. Yeah.
Sorry, the modalities.
Yeah.
So, like I did before, I could do a little tally with your chart, Marina, over there. So, yeah. So,
Oh,
with this website, I've taken it for astro.com. It's the same as Astro Databank, but
yeah.
it's really easy because they give you this little chart over there, this little table that can give you all the specific planets and points in each modality and element. So we already did the elemental tally. The next the previous podcast, but here
Right.
we can look at your modalities. So if we take into account what I said for this calculation over there,
Right.
you've got, and you can do it either on, if you're comfortable and you know about the elements of each and the modalities of each signs, you can do it directly on the wheel, or you can do it with me on the table.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
cardinal, you've got the sun, so 3 points, Mars, 2 points, and Jupiter, 1 point. So it gives a total of 5.
Six.
6? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Three.
I'm always. That's a good start.
That's all right.
Okay. So here we got the fixed column. We've got Uranus, 1 point. Do it here. We don't use this glyph over there. So this is the midheaven corresponding to this here. This is 1 point.
Okay.
You got Venus here, 2 points. and Neptune, 1 point. So if I do my math correctly this time, 2, 4, 5, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Is that right?
5. Yep.
Okay. I was going to say 6.
You're trouble, you are.
Yeah. Okay. So the last column over there is mutable. So we've got Saturn. Sorry. Saturn, 1 point. The ascendant, it's over there here. So the ascendant is 2. Mercury is worth 2. Right over there, Pluto, 1. And finally, the moon, 3.
Okay.
So, yep,
9.
we got 11. Sorry. I was just screwing with you again.
Yes, yeah. 9. Okay.
So, yep, you got 9. So if we go through my little tally here,
Yeah.
again, if you got 9 in your mutable mode, here it means that it's dominant. So you've got a dominant mutable chart. But you also got 6 in cardinal and 5 in fixed. So there's nothing truly truly lacking in your chart, to be honest. And even if your mutable is dominant, it's not to an extreme. So that's why you can get pretty even keeled or balanced on the other two modes.
Yeah.
But still, do you identify with what we said about that's what over here, the mutable aspects?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, very much I do. Yes, I am adaptable. Yes, I can be scattered. I don't like to admit it, but yes, absolutely. Um, I can fluctuate easily if my opinion is swayed. Yeah, I won't dig my heels in.
Mm.
If new information comes in, yeah, I can fluctuate that opinion and say, okay, well, you know what? There's new information. What? So, yeah, I think I would say that I can identify
Yeah,
with mutable.
yeah, definitely. And what can help you also identify with mutable, like you said, no, that's a little bit after here. Sneak peek for way later in our
Way
astrological
later.
discourse.
Yeah.
Um, you've got here Mercury in a mutable sign. Mercury is all about how we process information, how we form opinions, how we view them.
Mhm.
So, having Mercury in a mutable sign can truly um, exacerbate this kind of mutable tendency to adapt to others' opinion and be
Mhm.
more flexible with differing opinions.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there's always
Particular.
subtleties.
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I was going to say, yeah, I could. The Yes, when I was younger, uh, it was a lot easier to convince me of things. I think that's something that just comes with age. I don't know if it's really astrologically related, but
Hmm.
yeah, I think yeah, definitely was much easier to sway when I was younger than I am now.
Yeah.
But, still, like I said, I don't usually dig my heels in if I'm willing to
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. And I don't know if we have any questions as of yet in the chat.
no, so far nothing.
Okay.
But you know, um, yeah, if anyone has any questions about anything that we've covered so far, by all means ask. John is
Sure.
more than happy to answer questions, because this is supposed to be informative. This is supposed to be sort of like fun learning, right? What you
Sure.
wanted to, or at least for me, this is information that is explained in a way that is it's a very nice introduction to astrology. It doesn't get into a lot of astrology speak, when people who, and this happens not just in astrology, but in any industry, after you've been
Yeah.
doing it for a while. Yeah, you pick up the language, right? And then, people are talking, and, send me an 875, do a 571. Yeah, can you send the POBs, right? So that someone coming in from the outside, hearing that, it takes twice the effort to hear what is being said and then mark down the information that you have to get so that you can look it up later, and then go, oh, okay, I think that's what they were talking about. One of the things that I really, really appreciate with you, John, is you are um, you're not doing astrology speak. You're explaining things, and using language that we all understand,
Yeah.
with illustrations that we can go back to and go, oh yeah, I could absolutely see that. Yeah, and you kind of put all the little relationships together. And I think that's one of the things that makes astrology interesting for me, in that I know a little bit. I know enough to be dangerous, but I'd like to know a little more. I'd like to get a little deeper into it and have a um, better understanding. And I
Yeah.
think yeah, I think that's what you're providing. So I think that is wonderful. And yeah, questions. Anything comes up, you're not sure?
Sure.
Ask questions. So I think
Sure.
maybe that's one of the things that I'll put up for the um, like going forward from next week, is I'll yeah, maybe on the little notification that goes out, I'll say, come with questions, right?
Sure.
Uh,
And if you may, I'd like to wrap up this podcast with a little bit snap view of what every little other podcast for the next 12 weeks will entail. Oh,
Absolutely. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
so for my example over there, I'll do your chart for example because you've got the wheel
Oh, okay.
displayed. Um, so like I said before, you've got also modalities, but you also got element in your chart. And combining those two, element and mode for each sign, really gives you this kind of, how can I say it, little taste of what the overall character of each sign is giving you. So, for example, Aries, what we will talk the next week, is cardinal fire. So it's all about creating an identity because it's fire and being enthusiastic about living life at its fullest in an initiating stance. So it's all about being this pioneer, being this trailblazer. This is the true originator of the zodiac.
Oh, perfect. And I'm going to interrupt you for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, we've got Teresa, who's just wondering. She says, I'm 124. So I'm thinking she means January 24th. So am I cardinal? And then Witchy Gardens said, this is absolutely interesting. So
Thanks, Witchy
thank,
Gardens.
thank you, Witchy Gardens. Yeah. Yeah. It
Well,
is. It is.
to answer Teresa, if you only know your month and date of birth, I cannot say for sure that you are dominant something, because
Mm-hmm.
I need really your full birth date of birth. So that will entail being your day, your month, your year, but also um, your 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 hour, your time of birth, and the
Yeah.
location that you are born. So, for example, if you look at Marina's chart, I know that she is born October 5th, 1957, in Karlovac.
That makes me 26. If you do the math, I'm 26. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
And I also know her time of birth, which is extremely important. So, because I don't want to go into too much details, but if you look here, this is the ascendant. Okay, so I can answer Witchy Gardens question also.
Yeah.
So if you look at Marina's chart, she's got the ascendant here in Gemini at this precise degree, 10 degree 40 minutes. That's how you calculate. So the zodiac wheel is divided into 360 degrees. So each degree, each sign has 30 degrees. So each sign will have 30 degrees, making times 12 360 degrees. So meaning that having the most accurate time of birth is crucial in astrology. That's why it can be a little bit frustrating to some people who don't have their own time of birth, because that can be tricky for some people. So, for example, was she born maybe 10 minutes later? Her ascendant could have been in 16 degrees Gemini, and all of the others, these little lines with 1, 2, 3, 4, all over the 12, those are called houses. They could have shifted to another sign, and that would have skewed the interpretation. So that's why in astrology, having the accurate time of birth is crucial. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to comment to Teresa and Witchy Gardens. We Teresa said yes, she was born in 1961, and that also makes her 23. I agree. I love your math, Teresa. And yeah, and she gives the time and location of
Yeah.
her birth, and so does Witchy Gardens. Um, we're not able to get into those and to kind of do them for you right now, but I am going to suggest that maybe maybe we can have a little contest
Sure.
here. Maybe we can have a little giveaway. So uh, maybe over the next, I don't know, maybe every 4 weeks. How does this sound? Every 4 weeks,
Yeah.
um, we will take anyone who leaves comments in the videos, okay, I'll gather up the names that they go by on the channel, and then we'll do a drawing. And whoever has left a comment in the videos below, you'll be entered. If your name is picked, we can do a full chart on them. Does that sound good, John?
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. There you go. You all you folks out there, okay? Tell your friends to come in, watch the video, even if it's, you can watch it anytime you want. You don't have to watch it live. But make sure that you leave a comment, and then we'll every 4 weeks, right? So that every 4 signs, so that means we'll have 3 winners. 3 winners in all, and we will start the countdown from next Wednesday, from Aries.
Great.
Right. Okay, and I'll do up a little blurb and see if I can't include it on the sort of in the introduction, in the description and whatnot. And you know what? Why not? Why not? Understandable. I love astrology. It is so fascinating. That Witchy Garden says, yeah. And Teresa says it's cool. So
Yeah.
absolutely. I think that's a great way, because then it's a reward for you for why you're here, you're commenting, you're listening, you're learning. And then there's,
Sure.
dangle a little bell, and then we can, we can devote a time. We can even set it up, when it's convenient, so that it's private for whoever wins. We're not discussing, your life in front of everyone. And then, do a full reading.
Cool.
That sound good to you?
Definitely.
Perfect. All righty. Well, I think our folks are understanding that, and
I'm
that
just reading the last comment.
my math is a little fuzzy. Yeah, I am. Oh, who did I hear just the other day who said that they were celebrating the 38th anniversary of their 25th birthday? I like that.
Uh,
I like that. I'm going to have to figure
yeah.
that out and whatnot. But okay, go ahead. I interrupted you. Was there any? What else
Well,
did you have?
I can do a little tour of the following zodiac signs paired with the
Yes.
modality and element. So I did
Okay.
already said my gist for Aries, so I can go over to Taurus. Taurus is
Mhm.
fixed Earth, so that's Earth and fixed over here. So Taurus is all about literally fixating itself onto the Earth, onto a stable environment with
Right.
concrete and sensual um a concrete and sensual environment that is emotionally stable and practical. So I've combined the keywords from the elements and the modality for Taurus. Gemini,
Okay.
mutable air. Air is all about communication, thoughts, creativity, the abstract. But with mutable, it's transmission. It's all about receiving and dispersing. It's scattering the energy, scattering the transmission of words, of messages that we've learned. It's all over the place. So that's why, if you've noticed, cardinal fire, fixed earth, and mutable air are all almost, it's the purest manifestation of an element.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinal fire is all about a burst of energy. Fixed earth is all about being the most stable earth possible without any change.
Right.
And mutable air is all about being it's like swirling air, and the air is going everywhere and anywhere at the same time. The messages are coming from far away, really near, and it's there's no true I would say no true consistency. Cardinal water for Cancer. Cardinal is all about initiating, and water is all about an emotional rapport. So again, initiating something new, creating the nest, creating something personal, that is water. So it's less about being harsh or brutal like cardinal fire of Aries. It's more about it's creating something truly meaningful and personal, where you can express your deepest emotional self. Fixed fire for Leo. Fixed is all about maintaining something and make it sure it really expands and really complexify. So again, fire is the ego. Fire is all about your manifestation of the self. So Leo is all about creating this kind of ego and maintaining it in time,
Mm-hmm.
polishing your image, polishing your joie de vivre, and being this kind of a force of nature, that this sun that anyone can be around. Mutable earth for Virgo. Mutable is about changing something, always adapting to something, and adapting for practicality here with Virgo. So there's really a strong need for being adaptable and being on the current needs for what is prompted and what is available at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
For cardinal air for Libra, Libra is about being initiating relationship, initiating rapport. So exchanging, creating new friends, creating new relationship, being this kind of ideal partner in a way, being this kind of art, being this kind of creating this partnership that is really about exchanging ideas, exchanging your
Yeah.
thoughts, and expressing your your mental
Mm-hmm.
poetry also. Fixed
Yeah.
water for Scorpio is all about being really going deeper into the emotional depth, because it's not creating it, it's sustaining it with fixed. So we've already created something emotional in Cancer. We want to truly complexifying to an extreme in Scorpio. This is the land of contrast, black and white.
Mm-hmm.
What is truly at its root, at its essence here with Scorpio. So there's an extreme need for transformative energy here and strong emotional expression, but also the emotional expression that can be almost animalistic.
Mm-hmm.
Mutable fire, the last fire here, that is the most subtle fire. It's more about transforming the fire, transforming the self. Okay, I've expressed it, I've created myself in Aries, I've sustained my ego in Leo, and now with Sagittarius, I can expand it. I can go further. I can go to the distance and maybe become this higher self. So that's why Sagittarius is more about the exploration of the self and adapting to the circumstances that entails and that are on the way. That's the road to you in a way. Cardinal Earth. This kind of Earth is the most I would say the most sophisticated. This is the earth that is uh, creating something, creating structure here. We're not maintaining an ethos. We're not adapting to practicality like in Virgo. We're creating a structure here. So that's kind of the gist of Capricorn, that is about maintaining and creating strong structures set in stone that are durable in time, ambitious visions, ambitious practicality here. Fixed air in Aquarius. So, fixed air is all about the mental abstraction here at its most 10th degree here. It's all about the genius, how to create something that can benefit the society. How can I create something truly unique in my
Yeah.
mental labyrinth? I can find something that is truly unique, truly out of this world. So, and share it with everyone with my friendliness and my vision.
Yeah.
That's Aquarius. And finally, Pisces, mutable water, is all about the emotional the emotional depth that I created in Cancer and that I've complexified in Scorpio is now dispersed everywhere with the mutable energy. And it's all about spreading my emotional understanding and linking myself with everyone so we can be together. That's the sign of togetherness and the universal love. So that's Pisces. And that's where I'm at right now. Yep,
Nice.
that's pretty much it.
Nice. I think we're going to have a very exciting few months coming up
Yep.
um, with these. I'm looking forward to learning more about each and every sign. So that is fantastic. So thank you so much, John,
You're welcome.
for
Thanks to
all
you
the
too.
information. Oh, you're more than welcome. You know how much I enjoy these.
Me too.
Yeah, yeah. So, thank you to those of you that are here and that have commented. And don't forget, I'll put something up about the contest. I think it'll be a lot of fun. In the meantime, don't forget to, yeah, like it says in the little blurb, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And what have I got coming up? October 10th is 1 o'clock p.m. Linda G is going to be my guest. Here in Heart Center Tarot, and I'm very very excited about that. And for those of you who like to follow tarot readers, I mean, Linda G is kind of like having it's like having Beyonce on on the channel, right? So I'm really looking forward to that. I think we're probably going to have a lot to read on, and I hope that a lot of people come and watch that. So, in the meantime, until next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, when we will meet back here, and we're going to learn all about Aries. So,
Yep.
thank you for being here. Thank you, John. We'll say goodnight to everyone, and until same time next week. All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.